but we got to get to the weather on Friday. That was the big story around the city. I mean, we saw end of the world movie scenes when that rain was different from the morning. Like literally, I was up Friday morning. I was like, this ain't just rain. This if the wind was blowing, we're in a hurricane.
Bro, Rosenberg and I were in Las Vegas over the weekend. We saw the headlines. New York, flooding. I'm like, okay, let me see what type of flooding we're talking about. Then I see the videos. And I'm like, wait, is this real? Are cars almost submerged?
Yes.
We just kept looking at videos and we're like, this can't be real. Is it real? I'm like, it is real. It was horrible.
Brooklyn got smacked up. Parts of Manhattan smacked up. Hoboken floods. I mean, just because. I mean, it was happening, and I gotta say, like, if you were out here during Superstorm Sandy, you know, it was rain like that, bro. Yeah. It just wasn't the wind and the other elements that bring the river and the ocean up to our doorsteps.
Right. Actually, the rain was actually worse than Sandy because the rain just didn't stop.
It didn't stop.
It just went. Like you said, actually, the fact that we didn't have the wind pushing that water up, but like it just kept going, and every time you thought it would stop,
more rain
upon your head top.
And here comes Eric Adams yelling at everybody in the city that was taken aback, flabbergasted, and surprised. What did he say, Laura Stiles? He said we was all under a rock.
That's it.
I didn't.
If you didn't know this storm was coming, you were living under a rock, was the quote.
No. We knew a storm was coming, and we knew it was going to rain. No one was like, hey. Streets are going to flood. There's going to be a whirlpool in the middle of Brooklyn.
It's going to be a seal swimming around Central Park. Crazy. What was it?
Yeah, it was a sea lion.
Yeah, it was crazy. They got
animals will escape from their captivity.
Is that real?
And there will be flooding. Oh, you mean like in the Bible?
Yo,
I mean, normally you would get days of preparation, no? Like warnings, and you would see people prepping for this around the city.
I mean, if we knew that it was going to be this bad.
But we didn't.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Well, you just weren't paying attention, Ebro. You weren't reading minds.
I mean, bruh. Now, here's the other part. I will say this. Didn't we got the flood warnings on our phones, right? We saw, like, you open the weather app and it was like flood warnings, but it said coastal. And we get those a lot. Nobody said downtown Brooklyn.
Right. Nobody said the Bronx River Parkway. The Bronx underwater.
Yeah, there was rivers.
But this is Eric Adams' MO. He will be strong and wrong.
Wait, you mean a cop won't take accountability?
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You mean we have a former police officer in office who has trouble taking accountability when things go wrong?
Oh man.
Congratulations.
Yo, hit us with the button for thinking that it was gonna be something else.
Wow.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Well, double that button because it was in the middle of everyone yelling about defund the police and police reform, and we elected a cop as mayor.
Well, hit that button too.
You played yourself.
But he had been different previously. That hadn't always been. He had been someone who called out cops previously.
That's right.
So,
and I think, and by the way, if we're being fair, I think if there.
Nothing to worry about.
No, hit me with the button.
Congratulations.
Nope.
You played yourself.
Hit me with the button for even trying to think that.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Because there's no evidence to suggest that while he's had this job, he's going to side with the people against the police. Because he blocked the CCRB and the former chief of police, who's a woman, who wanted to hold police accountable for the actions that they took during the protests and other abusive actions that they took. Allegedly, his administration stood in the way of that. So hit me with the button for even trying to.
You were about to fix your lips.
I was about to fix my lips to, yeah. But yeah, hit me with the button. Laura, what you got today?
So we're going to dive into this a little deeper later on in Flash and Lights, but we saw the headlines. Man arrested in connection to the murder of Tupac Shakur. All right, so Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was arrested early Friday morning by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, right? Law enforcement officials held a press conference revealing that Davis gave them a reason to get back to the case in 2018 when he started doing interviews.
Yes.
And eventually wrote a book with details in his involvement in the murder.
He sure did.
Officials say once they executed the search warrant, they were able to present their new evidence to a grand jury who made the decision to indict Davis with one count of open murder with the use of a deadly weapon and gang enhancement.
That is the biggest. Yo,
you played yourself.
You admitted to killing Tupac in a book and in multiple interviews, and got arrested for it 27 years later.
You ran to Vlad TV to spill the beans.
You dummy.
Congratulations.
Now here's the other plot twist. People who've been paying attention long before the Vlad TV thing and even his book knew this story. Now, the real question is going to be, when this goes to trial, is he going to start really, really singing?
And he's already been singing.
He's already been chirping. Now, with, the rest of his life on the line, is he really going to start saying names? Because, there's always been talk of that hit on Tupac being, paid for.
Right.
So we shall see. But people can't help themselves, man.
Wow.
I just feel like everybody wants to have a book and have an interview and this.
Yeah. They say there's a thing with criminals where if you got away with it, you want people to know that you did it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, give him the button, Shawnee.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Well, man. So we're going to see. 27 years ago. But, none of this is going to bring Tupac back. But, for some people, it's closure and,
it's at least some bit of something.
It feels like something. You know what I mean? Rosenberg, what you got today?
Listen, I'm gonna try to keep this just tight to the point and keep it moving, but it has to be said.
Right.
I don't do this often anymore.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do what needs to be said.
Now, here we go. The get down. Let's get to the get down.
I'm sorry. Can we please give Charlamagne the button yet again?
What happened?
Yeah, Fox, a.k.a. FNF, Fox News favorite, Charlamagne the God, baby.
Wait,
you know him.
Wait. Why are we doing this? Wait,
you read about him on Fox News every week. You know him, Charlamagne the God.
This is not approved.
It will be. The headlines that you'll find everywhere over the weekend were Charlamagne the God calls Colin Kaepernick pathetic.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
That's a direct quote.
Yeah,
He felt the need after, we talked about it last week, Colin Kaepernick wrote a letter to the New York Jets, to Joe Douglas, and J. Cole put it out. Basically being like, hey, I can contribute to this team. I'll even be a part of the practice squad, but I'd like to be a part of this team. I can do it. I've been practicing every day. I think all of us thought, okay, cool, let's see what happens. Of course, we got the answer we knew we would get from the NFL, which is nothing, because we know what happened in that situation. And listen, everyone out there has a right to have thought the letter was great. You could think, I don't know if it's going to do anything. You could have many thoughts on it. Why a human being would take time on their platforms to refer to someone who sacrificed a lot for all of the right things and has only done the right things. I mean, you could say whatever you want about this man, but Colin Kaepernick has been nothing but been a great stand-up man who stood for the right things. And you took time on your platform to read your little note cards, get your little segment ready, type down all your words, and say that it was tragically sad and downright pathetic. Bro, Charlamagne, you are tragically sad and downright pathetic. Bro, week after week, I have to see headline after headline of this man kissing the ass of the right so he can be on Fox News, quoted here. Oh, the Republicans need to make way for Nikki Haley. Yo, man, when are people going to start putting this thing together? Over and over and over again, bro. It's not a coincidence.
Well, you'd have to assume that people disagree with him first.
Oh, no, obviously there are people who agree with that notion. They're generally called right-wing racists. But there are people out there who agree with the notion. But just explain to me why. Let's suppose Charlamagne didn't like the letter. He thought, honestly, he read it. He was like, I don't think this is a good idea. why would you then get on a microphone and say to the world, this is tragically sad and pathetic?
Well, we live in a time, Rosenberg, where people will do anything for promo and a line. You listen, here's the real tragic part of it all. When Colin Kaepernick was risking his entire career to stand up for something that he felt was right and needed at the time, he was also having things called Know Your Rights Camp. Okay? And Nessa and Colin were at the Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz Center.
I remember this.
City know where it is. It's in Harlem.
Yep.
Nessa hit me and was like, yo, Charlamagne, I think it would be great to show solidarity and have Charlamagne come to the event. I was like, absolutely. This ain't about no radio. This is about real life. This is a real thing.
Correct.
This ain't about radio competition and us talking trash. This is real. Charlamagne comes, all good. Nessa says, hey, Ebro, can you go take a picture with Charlamagne to show solidarity? I was like, I don't know if he gonna want to take a photo with me, but you know what? For you, Nessa, I'm gonna go ask him.
Well, and it's the right thing to do.
And it's the right thing to do. I go over to him, hey, bro, let's take this photo. Nessa wants us to get a flick, show solidarity. I'm not taking a picture with you. I was like, all right, cool. He was like, you called me a coon. I was like, well, you was outside cooning, running around with Tommy Loren talking about all black penises matter.
But making a joke out of Black Lives Matter at the time.
Making
with
a joke out of Black
racist.
Lives Matter with a known racist I told everybody to stay away from. So the real tragedy is the fact that, you know, throughout time of him being on a public platform, he has shown inconsistencies with really being a good quality human being. That's what I think is frustrating you the most.
Well, no, and that, Ebro, but the frustrating part is it's not inconsistent. It's actually quite consistent.
Well, yes.
This is regular.
But I mean, the portrayal of being a quality human being is the piece that's inconsistent. You know what I mean? Like that.
This also comes after years of bringing people onto your show, you know, making Lil Mama cry, having these moments where you make people feel terrible, and then turning around because it becomes the public thing to do and say you're about mental health issues. You deal with anxiety. Bro, you deal with anxiety because you put negativity out in the world. No one likes you. That's why you got to move around with security 24/7. That's not mental health issues. That's anxiety because you're always putting negative out in the world. So the flipping of all these things into ways to advance your career while never truly caring about any of them is what bothers me. And when it came out to using the words tragically sad and pathetic to describe someone who has been nothing short of an American hero, bro, you get this button always.
Congratulations, you played yourself. Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yo, and then after I went and asked him for a photo, right? You know what he got on a podcast and said?
What?
That I came over to ask him for because I wanted it for the gram. I wanted to get hot on Instagram.
Oh, that's always the move, bro. He always adds that extra part. But
the reason I put that in there is because he's projecting. Because that's who he is. That's the premise of a lot of his activity is what's going to keep the him relevant and popping. And that's been his whole motive.
Yeah, bro, I tried to reach out to him in 2016 at the election time to say our show should come together because we were facing such a critical election in 2016.
Yeah, but you spoke to him in a way that felt like white privilege, and you were condescending and rude.
Oh, is that what the answer was? I honestly forgot. That's what it was.
You were condescending and rude, and white privilege is the reason you reached out to him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Even though he once blindly called my phone, don't know how this man got my number, and was mad at me because I spoke out about Wiz and Amber. Now, granted, as time has gone on, I regret how I did speak about Wiz. But who the hell are you? I'm privileged? Dude called my phone and said bros before hoes. And I was like, but Amber is my bro. What are you talking about? So privilege is it's interesting. It's just interesting, bro. It's all very interesting.
Yeah, but you're white and I'm mixed, and it'll never matter what we say. So hit us with
the button.
Congratulations, you played yourself.